down. Was blind, but now I see.
How's it going, guys? I'm all the way here in frosty Paris to get you guys the scoop on the brand new Far Cry game, Far Cry 5. And to do that, I have with me the executive producer of the game, Dan Hay.
Yep.
Thank you so much for making a few minutes. I know you're a busy man.
It is frosty, isn't it?
It
It's
is
a little
so
cold in here.
it is so cold. It's like minus 5 degrees even in here. But what isn't cold, what is sizzling hot, is Far Cry 5. I've just played 45 minutes to an hour of the game. A little bit of the single player, the open world experience is now there for me to just go crazy. And yeah, without further ado, let's jump straight into the nuts and bolts.
Sure.
The first question I have for you, something that I loved in Far Cry 4, the co-op.
Okay.
Now I know you guys are focused on co-op. You're trying to get guys playing together, improving the multiplayer experience. What are we going to see in Far Cry 5?
Well, I'm glad you liked, co-op from Far Cry 4, but what we wanted to be able to do is in Far Cry 5, give you the whole game. Like, let you play the whole thing. So we built an entire for hire system, right? If you want to have guns for hire, or fangs for hire, or friends for hire, you should be able to play the entirety of the game the way you want, wholly organic, and be able to have that in. So that's what we did with co-op. You can play the whole game. People are going to love that.
The entire game, start to finish? That's amazing. Can you give the fans what they want?
Yes, absolutely.
This is good news. Okay, I know like no story spoilers, but let's jump into a little bit of the story. Let's talk about the man of the moment, Joseph Seed.
Okay.
Okay, obviously a bit of a nutcase, and Far Cry is known for its bad guys.
Right.
How is Joseph taking the insanity, like cranking up the insanity to the next level?
Well, it's tricky because you think about Far Cry 3 and the pedigree we have making Voss, right? And making a pretty badass villain. Everybody loved that villain. Voss was very physical. And then you have Pagan Min, who was different.
Yeah.
He was much more focused on being that friend that you weren't sure was going to be the one that was going to end up getting you killed.
Yes.
And I think that when you look at the opportunity for us to have this character, yes, I think the average person would look at Joseph and go, this guy's nuts. Yeah. He doesn't think he is. He doesn't think he's the bad guy. That's what makes him really interesting, is that he truly believes that he's going to help you. He truly believes that the end of the world is going to come, and that it's his job to save you whether you want to be saved or not.
Yeah.
And he knows that you're looking at him saying, this guy's crazy. And he'll even tell you that in the game. I know you look at me, I know you think I'm crazy, but what if I'm right?
Yeah.
What if?
I've said this before, and I'm like, maybe he is right. Maybe he's not that crazy. The world's so crazy as it is that he might be onto something.
I think when we started to build this game 3 years ago, we maybe tapped into this feeling about, the world kind of being on the edge, and that's the creative of the game. It's not specifically a commentary about one place, it's a commentary about all of us, and the fact that it really does feel like now that we're pushing towards the edge. And the more you start to play the game, the more you start to wonder if maybe Joseph knows something we don't.
Yeah, or maybe he does, guys. We're going to have to play and find out. Touching on the world itself, the map size. How much bigger is the map size compared to Far Cry 4?
I think, this is without a doubt the biggest Far Cry we've ever made.
So you've taken it up a level as well.
It's not just about the breadth of the experience, the depth of the experience. We're trying to make it so that this glorious anecdote factory that we built from Far Cry 3, we grew in Far Cry 4, that we use in Primal, has the ability to give you all of these collisions of things that we give you in terms of gameplay moments. So I'll give you an example. You're running around the world. We're not giving you a linear experience. Go where you want.
Yeah.
Right? Walk out into the world, meet any character, and everybody's like, okay, but how's that work? You tell us to go to this character first.
It's going to be somewhat
Not
linear.
so much. Just go where you want.
Yeah.
Okay. And then next, we don't know where you're going to be. We don't know who you're going to be with. You might have one guns for hire. You might have two. You might be in a plane. You might be in a boat. You might be in a muscle car. You might have a bear with you, cheeseburger. You might have a dog with you, boomer. You might have somebody who's got an RPG versus somebody who's a sniper. We don't know all that stuff. And the thing is, these characters all know each other. They're perfect opportunities for all of those collisions of those great moments to happen. And our goal is to build a world where it's not just about the map size, even though this is the biggest Far Cry ever. It's also about the depth of experience of look at all the stuff you can do and do it the way you want.
It's the most organic. It's like a living, breathing world. You just jump into the mix and do what you
Freedom,
like.
opportunity, surprise. Freedom to go where you want, the opportunity for the world to have all this different stuff, and the surprise, even for us as devs. I've played the game 6 times in the last 3 months.
Never had the same experience.
I never know what's going to happen next. It's super cool.
I started the game literally in the first 20 seconds. My teammate was attacked by a cougar. And then some guys on a quad bike rocked up and tried to kill me. So it's madness. But that's what we want. That's fantasy. We just want chaos in motion.
Exactly.
So that's great. One thing you mentioned in the presentation that I took note of that I thought was quite interesting is the tower system. Now, it's quite a big deal. Like in previous titles, You have to climb a tower.
Yeah.
Basically, that activates all the quests in the area. How is that going to be handled differently in Far Cry 5?
No towers.
No towers there.
So I mean, right there, like when we talk about, we actually went to Montana.
Yeah.
And the first thing that we were thinking about is, how do we make it so that this feels a little bit more that we have a conceivable story. We have something that's from the standpoint of just the little interconnectivity of moments in the world. And the truth is that you do that with people.
Yeah.
Right. If we're going to make a cast that feels real, you're probably not going to be climbing towers. Somebody's not going to tell you, go climb that tower and then turn this on, and that's what opens your map.
Yeah.
You're going to go talk to people, and they have to have real voices.
Yeah.
And so we built it so that each person you kind of meet in the world has the possibility of almost feeling like a tower.
Yeah.
They've got the intel. But the same thing is that we want to be able to make it so that when you talk to them, they feel like real people. So if you walk up to them, and they say, hey, listen, I've got some problems with her, and then you walk away, they're going to get pissed off.
Like, dick.
Yeah. And then you come back and you go, really? Now you want to talk?
Yeah.
It has to feel believable.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, cool. Now I know the game hasn't even come out yet,
Right.
and I'm thinking about. I'm excited because you guys have been, teasing your DLC.
Yes.
So I don't know how much you can talk about.
I can talk about it.
Like the Vietnam and all the
Yeah,
good stuff that's
yeah,
coming. What can you tell us?
Well, look, we know that what Far Cry does really well is it takes the tone of something that's crazy and wild and bombastic, and it marries it with emotional moments that you can have in the game, right? And so we said to ourselves, well, how do we continue that? How do we take the flavor and the spirit of what took Far Cry 3 to Blood Dragon and then take that into all the DLCs that we do? So we said, well, what do you want to do? I want to go to Mars. Let's go to Mars.
Go to Mars.
Right? Well, how do we rationalize that? Well, we'll talk about stories in the world. We'll seed it in Far Cry 5, and we'll start talking about how that could grow. I want to go to Vietnam. All right, let's do the same thing. I mean, give the players what they want. The spirit of giving the players what they want, from a story that is wholly organic,
Yeah.
to the experiences that they want to go to even dealing with zombies.
Yeah.
It's a moment of entertainment.
Yeah.
It's a game. It can be credible, but it can also be incredible.
Nothing's off the cards.
Nope.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Cool.
It's like a creative sandbox. That's exciting.
Great, love it.
Something very popular. You'd have to be living under a rock to not know this.
Yeah.
Battle Royale. The mode is taking off. People are loving it.
Right.
Do you have anything in the Battle Royale flavor planned down the line?
So there's stuff we're talking about, stuff we're not talking about. Today we're talking about just the fact that we have this rich, fantastic world with all these characters. And that's as far as I'm going to go.
Okay. So was it a no? But let's move on. Last question.
Yeah.
Is there any bit of any golden nugget of info you haven't told any other journalists in the last day or today that you can give me that may not have been asked just yet?
I think that when you think about our regions and you think about what we built, I personally feel like we've built almost 3 games in one.
Okay.
Each region feels different, but the real moment of gold that you get is when you have Guns for Hire with you and you use that roster in different ways in terms of gameplay. But for me personally, what I love is when I just almost sit back and listen to the Guns for Hire talk to each other.
Just the banter.
They know each other.
Yeah.
Some of them are in love with each other, right? And I think that there's really great moments where you're walking down the road and they start to talk to each other,
Yeah.
or they're whistling a tune that you've heard down from before,
Yeah.
or they recognize that you've got Boomer with you and say, hey, nice dog.
Yeah.
It's the
detail,
it's the detail, it's the connection, and it's just some of the jokes. I think the biggest thing for me that I think people are really surprised by is the game's really funny.
Yeah.
Like the characters are really funny.
Yeah.
And it's okay to have those bombastic moments with earnest emotional moments, because that's Far Cry.
Yeah, that's it. And it comes across to the players, because I've been laughing my ass off while in between the
Awesome.
missions. Dan, thank you so much. The
Cool.
game is out March 27th.
Yes.
Couple days
It's
away.
just like 30 days away.
It's exciting.
Awesome.
I wish you all the
Thanks,
best
dude.
with the launch.
Cheers.
And thank you for making some time for us.
Cool.
Sweet guys, March 27th. Check you out there.
What God gives, no man can take away.